And we've seen, what's happened with the coronavirus. I mean, how much responsibility should China take for this?
Well, I mean, it's really interesting because, we're talking at a time now when the whole lab leak hypothesis has been, sort of shored up again. And so it's percolating in the press, something that was completely, apparently a debunked conspiracy for the last year, since early on, I would say in January, February, there were people talking about this. What are the odds that, in the city where there were two, not just one, there were actually two labs that housed BL4 facilities studying these bat coronaviruses would be the source or the first place where COVID-19 shows up, the virus SARS-CoV-2. And, Occam's razor, which is really, a very basic principle of parsimony that the scientific method is modeled on, really should have been at play, right? Because what is the most obvious guess here? And instead of kind of investigating this possible theory as a hypothesis alongside others, which was, the reigning theory of the day was really about the zoonotic transmission at the Huanan seafood market from bats to some sort of mystery animal, which was surmised to be a pangolin. In the end, we reflexively, the scientific community, governments, and our entire media class dismissed the lab leak hypothesis as some sort of, racist or just debunked conspiracy. We shouldn't even go there. And really, it's a failure on, what Eric Weinstein would call our sort of communal sense-making apparatus. The institutions that run our media really decided on gating this narrative and preventing people from asking questions. If you happen to, Zero Hedge early on was banned from Twitter, and all over Facebook was banning, anyone that was posting or removing posts that even suggested it might have been a lab leak. And even without the lab leak, even if this, China was found to be lying, I think that if you look back at the initial cover-up, enough damage had been done. How we, the country persecuted the whistleblowers and how it tried to kind of hamstring the investigations. I mean, on what planet does, the country that the pandemic started in gets to pick who gets to sit on the so-called independent inquiry that the WHO sent 1 year after the entire incident happened, more than 1 year actually, and also after scrubbing the alleged crime of the scene, which was supposedly the seafood market, which we know from interviews, where the vendors did not actually sell any of the meats in question, whether it was pangolin or bat. So there are just so many questions, and China's behavior ever since the pandemic broke out has just been just very, very suspect and retaliating against any country like Australia that was suggesting merely for an independent inquiry.